The leg press. So this machine, as well as all the other ones in this video, are going to be plate loaded, where we load plates onto them, but the movements will be nearly identical to the workouts we did in the previous videos. So for the leg press, we're just gonna have a seat here. You can grab the handle to help you sit down, and you're going to place your feet above here, and you can adjust your feet to any of these foot positions that make you most comfortable. And so this is perhaps the most important aspect, are the safety latches. So you're gonna press up and unlock the latches that'll allow you to leg press the weight and bring it as low down and bring it high up. And then when you're done, you'll relock the weight. And this is important because it's all for your safety. Now, when you're ready, you'll unlock the weight and begin to lower the weight down to about 45 to 90 degrees. Again, it's gonna vary on person to person. And then you're going to press straight up, not locking the knees completely. And also another variation you can do is the single leg variation. And you can also do calf raises, which you don't have to unlock and take off the rack in order to do them. And whenever you're finished, make sure the weight is always locked into place on the rack, and then you can grab this handle and get up. The hack squat. So the hack squat is basically just a squat from a slightly different angle. And to set up, we're just going to put our back against this padding here, place our feet about shoulder width apart, make sure we're nice and stable. And then the next most important thing, like the leg press, is the handle. This is the safety handle, keeping the weight from collapsing down on you. So like before, you're going to slightly press up, lift the handle up so that you can do the exercise. And then whenever you're done, you're going to attach the handle back down so it locks the weight into place. Very important. Now, whenever you're ready, you're going to lift the safety handle and begin to squat down. And just like the leg press, you want your leg angle to be about 90 to 45 degrees. And it's going to vary from person to person, but don't try to push past any pain or discomfort just so you can go lower. The V squat. So the V squat is very similar to the hack squat, except here we're going to have the weight or a padding on our shoulders while we squat. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. And like previous exercises, we have the safety latch to allow us to squat down when we release it and to lock it into place when we're finished. And begin to squat. Again, the motion is going to be very similar. Make sure you take time to get your leg positioning correct. Squat down, inhale, exhale as you come back up, and keep things slow and controlled. And these first 3 leg machines are going to really help you build some solid leg muscle and are a definite step up from the previous leg machines I showed you before. Seated calf raises. So this machine is honestly one of my favorites in the gym. It's like a little torture device, but it really kills the calves in a good way. But basically the setup is very simple. The weight is loaded in front of it. You're going to set the padding on top of your lap to carry you into place, and then you're going to set your feet about 1/3 of the way off of this ledge so that you can properly do the calf raises. And this is very important because it's going to allow you to get the most out of the workout. And now when you're ready, you can raise up on your toes slightly, and you'll move this handle to the left or to the right so that the weight can go down fully, and then you'll lock it back into place whenever you're finished. So for this workout, it's important to allow your heels to drop down close to the ground to really get a good stretch, and then press through the toes to get a solid contraction of the calves. Calf extensions. So calf extensions are going to be identical to the ones we did on the other machines. The difference being obviously they're plate loaded, and here the seat adjusts slightly different. We're just going to lift it up, slide it forward or backwards, sit down, sit up straight, and then begin pressing with our toes. Remember, the motion is similar to the calf raise, except we're sitting down. We want to take it slow and controlled as we do that, getting a stretch as we return back to position, and getting that nice contraction as we press our toes forward. High rows. Now you might have seen on the machine they called it isolateral high rows, which you don't have to worry about that, because basically it's just saying you can do it on both sides, or you can isolate a lateral side. But anyways, back to the machine. You're going to set up the seat. You're going to put this padding on top of your lap. And I must admit, on these machines, I really dislike these setups. They just slide terribly. They move a lot. I don't like them. Different brands have different setups, but it's okay. Once you're set up, you'll grab the handles and begin rowing. And just like in our previous back videos, the key is to drive the elbows back, slow and controlled, and that will help you really feel the lat muscles. And we can also do single arm variations. The low row. So this is just another row variation, except we're rowing from a lower angle. And since this is almost identical to the previous workouts, I did want to add that plate loaded machines offer the benefit of allowing you to lift a lot more weight. And also some of the machines allow a little bit more range of motion, or a little bit more freedom of movement for people. So that's also one benefit, or a few benefits, of the plate loaded machines. And again, as you see, the setup is the same. You want to get your proper foot position where it's comfortable for you. Begin to row slow and controlled, taking your time, building that mind to muscle connection. And then there's also single arm variations if you feel so inclined. The front lat pull down. So as the name implies, this is a pull down from a frontward angle. The setup for this is going to be similar to other pull downs, where you have a padding on top of your lap, keeping you locked into position. And for here, you're going to grab underhand and begin rowing. And remember, the row motion is just the driving of the elbows straight down. Slow and controlled as always. Enjoy the gains. Pullovers. So pullovers, we didn't have an exercise that was similar to them over in the other machines, but this is a lat focus, a lat dominant exercise. It's very simple, kind of awkward, this machine, but it can be a good back workout. So in the back is where you load or unload the weights. You adjust your seat as usual, and you want it to be at a height that will allow you to place your elbows on the padding and grab these handles. Once you do that, you're going to be driving your elbows straight down to activate the lats and return to position to get a good stretch of them as well. Take your time with these, slow and controlled. Exhale as you come down, and inhale as you return to position. The T-bar row. So this looks a little different than the other row machines. We load the weight in the front of it, and then we stand on this platform here, squat down, grab these handles. I personally like to stand up straight to readjust my position, squat back down partially, keeping my back straight, and then begin to row. And this row is going to be similar to all the other rows where you just row our elbows straight back. The only thing is that we're standing up. So the importance here is to squat down at a low enough angle that it feels comfortable to pull from, because if you don't, you could ache your back. And lastly, there are different grips you can choose from, and it is a matter of personal preference. The decline press. So the decline press is just another variation of the chest press. Except here we are slightly leaned back and we're pressing from a slightly lower angle. The setup is the same as most of the other plate loaded machines we've done today. Load the weights in the front, adjust our seat, plant our feet comfortably, grab the handles, and then begin to press or push. So one thing I will add about this specific machine is that it felt really awkward on my shoulders. I have slightly longer arms, so this just felt a little weird to me, but don't let that dissuade you from trying this machine or even liking this machine, because everybody is built differently, has different body types, different proportions, and just different machines that they favor. But yeah, everything is the same. You can do double arm presses, single arm presses, but the key is to take them slow and controlled. Exhale as you press and inhale as you return to position. The incline press. So another chest press variation, the incline press. This is going to be targeting more of the upper chest and shoulders. But this is a mirror image, or exactly the same as the decline press, except we're pressing from an upward angle. And honestly, I like this one a million times better than the decline press. The main reason being that it wasn't so awkward on my body when I was setting up, and it just felt so much better when I was pressing. And that's one thing I will add. You'll find some machines you like and some you just don't, but that's all part of the journey. The shoulder press. So the shoulder press is going to be targeting our shoulders. It's going to be set up basically exactly like the other pressing movements, like the chest press, the incline press. The main difference is that we're going to be pressing vertical instead of straight out in front of us. And personally, I really enjoyed this machine. The range of motion felt good. The setup felt good. Yeah, it was just a good one. You can hit your single arm and your double arm like the others. And another reminder too is that with the plate loaded machines, you can fine tune how much weight you want to put in. So you can add a 5, a 10, 35, or a 45 pound weight. Shrugs. So I didn't have much footage on this, but I can still explain it because it's very simple. The weights you can adjust to either side, and then what you're going to do is have a seat, grab the handles on the side, and lift your shoulders towards your ears in a slow and controlled fashion. And this is going to primarily target the trap muscles. Abdominal crunches. So if you remember from the ab video, the abdominal crunch machine was very straightforward, but this one you can add weights on the side, and it also has the ability to swivel the seat like the multi-purpose ab machine we did before. And so the swivel of the seat will turn left or right, as you can see here, which will allow for the oblique crunches. But for now, I'm just going to demonstrate the regular crunches, exhaling as you crunch, inhaling as you return to position, taking it nice, slow, and controlled. The ab bench. So these next two pieces of equipment aren't necessarily plate loaded machines, but they're in the area, so I thought I'd discuss them. This is the ab bench. You've probably seen it. All you do is really sit on it, loop your legs around, and then you can begin to do various types of core workouts, whether they're sit-ups, rotational sit-ups. You kind of get the point. Just unlimited core. back extensions. Now this is focused on the low back, glutes, and the hamstrings. Now it looks really simple because it is, but it's a super effective workout. So the main adjustment is this padding you see in front of us, and you're going to adjust that by sliding it up or down and so that it can hook into place. And the position you want it to be in is where the padding aligns with your thighs. So just the bottom is just above your knee and you can lay comfortably on it. And then next you want your feet to be firmly planted on the platform and hooked in on these cushions here. Now when you're locked into position, you can lower down just below hip level and return to your starting position. Take these slow and controlled. You should really feel it in your low back, glutes, and your hamstrings. And if you're feeling extra crazy, go ahead and try out the single leg variation, but this is a more advanced version.